Welcome to the MBG Podcast. Let's fire everybody.
All right, welcome everybody. Episode number 144, the Mrs. Board Geniuses podcast. This is Who's. I got Casey, Courtney, MBG. We're back after a week off. I was doing a little load management last week. And we're finally to March. So y'all know what that means. We got longer days, warmer weather, got lots of basketball. And then we got some spring sports starting up. Casey, we were talking before we started about your little umpiring adventure today. It sounds like that was a good time.
Yeah, so my kid decided he didn't want to play baseball. So what's the next
Smart
best thing?
kid,
Tell
yeah.
your wife you're gonna go play umpire high school. So I had a varsity game, which, technically I'm a new umpire to this association. So to get a varsity game is a big deal. They pay you more, Anyway, it was the worst high school baseball game I've ever seen in my entire life, and it almost made me go full MBG and just say baseball is stupid. It was atrocious. They scored 13 runs combined in the first inning, and I think they only had 2 hits between the two teams. The home plate umpire couldn't even fake it, man. Like, he couldn't even call close stuff strikes. Like, it was bad, and to the point where one of the coaches was like, "Man, he's got a tight strike zone." And I looked at the guy, and I didn't know if he was kidding or not.
If you walk like 15 guys, I don't think it's the tight strike zone that's a problem.
And they left this poor kid out there. He gave up 10 runs in the first inning and could not find the plate, and they left him out there. I was like, if they're leaving this kid out there, does that mean the guys behind him aren't any good?
I think that'll kill your ERA if you give up 10 runs in an inning in March. I don't think you have enough time to get your ERA down.
The kids were fun. Like, they were having fun with each other, both teams. So it was kind of neat. But like finally one kid got pissed and turned and was like, "You're not that good," to the team that was winning by 15 runs. And the kid just turned to him and goes, "I've scored 5 times."
So that's when you know it's bad.
Like,
it's not even mean trash talking. It's just factual, right?
Yeah.
If I was umpiring that game, I would just eject myself. I would just kick myself out. I would walk to the car, and I bet nobody would have been mad at you.
No.
I like the idea of MBG just walking over and just punching a parent in the face, just to get out of the game.
Surprisingly, we had great parents tonight. The fans were really, really great, and
They're probably
coaches
drinking.
were trying. They probably were. Well, it was funny. Another piece that was funny, a little sidebar. It was Tammy's birthday tonight, and I don't know if you know this. If you know Tammy, I didn't know Tammy, but the catcher turned around and said, "Happy birthday, Tammy." The kid that was standing on second base on the other team screams, "Happy birthday, Tammy." Coaches start going, "Happy birthday, Tammy." And one of the moms of a kid that on the losing team was like, "Don't you dare wish Tammy a happy birthday, Daryl. Just throw strikes."
That may be my favorite part of the story.
It was my favorite because, it was like starting to get annoying, But mom, "Don't you listen to that, Daryl? You throw strikes."
Yeah, baseball moms don't mess around. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you all have ever gone down that rabbit hole of videos on like YouTube, but like you'll see like, the idiot dads will get in fights, but they're usually instigated by like a drunk mom at some point.
Protecting the women. Yeah. I did see a little girl video that she was shooting a free throw and shot an air ball, and you just hear a mom's voice going, "Air ball!" And she goes, "Don't worry, it's my daughter."
That is the best. I saw that the other day. That is the best. You can tell she panicked for a second after she yelled. She's like, "Oh, no. I'm her mom. It's okay."
My daughter. Yeah. So,
well, it's nice that y'all have good enough weather to play baseball. We got snow yesterday, believe it or not.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No good.
Sorry about that.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
We got warm weather coming. I know spring break is a little different now than it was when we were younger people. Y'all's kids have spring break in March?
Mm-mm.
No?
We're like the 13th of April or something like
wow.
that.
And we're the first week of April. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
That
the
first
13th.
like Easter
or 17th.
fall.
Maybe it's just
One
college
more.
that does it in March. We're the very end of March, I think.
No, we're in March too.
Clemson was St. Patty's Day every year. That's when it started.
That's a good combination in college when you have spring break, St. Patrick's Day, and the tournament all at the same time. That's that's a recipe for blacking out right there.
One of the biggest national celebrations is in Savannah, Georgia, of all places,
Mm-hmm.
and it's wild. It was wild back in the day. It's tamed down big time. But yeah, so we as soon as we could that Friday, you're just hustling down 5 hours to Savannah, figuring out where you're sleeping later, and having a
I
good
have
old
heard
time.
that Savannah is pretty crazy for St. Patty's Day.
It used to be buy a mug for $8, fill it at any place on the river street for $2.
And they
So-
dye the river.
It was 32 ounce cups. Now it's like 16, and it's like $12. Yeah, it was ugly and fun.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
I think they've tightened up a little on that kind of stuff since we were younger, you know? Like when we went on spring break, well, down in Myrtle Beach, down in South Carolina, when I was in college, and one of my roommates one year made a fake ID do you remember Crazy Zach's, Casey?
Yes,
That place, like,
I know the
it's
story.
like, yeah, if a bar could be a venereal disease, it would be Crazy Zach's. I mean, it was just like, but he made a fake ID that said MC Hammer, and like that just proves you could do anything and get in there. The guy just looked at it, handed it back, like laughed and handed it back. Good times.
Surprised that place closed.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't have any pending lawsuits or anything.
Living not far from the beach, we always did spring break at the beach. And my senior year spring break, we had, I don't know if you guys did this, but we would have like the girls' house, the guys' house, and then I was staying at the house that had girls and guys. I don't know how my parents approved that, but we had a chaperone. That's why I got to stay there. Our chaperone was staying there. Well, our chaperone didn't give a and they were actually going on a beer run, and my best friend, may she rest in peace, I wanted to kill her at the time. She was downstairs, and the ABC board rolls up, and they're like, "Oh, are you with these people that are getting busted?" And she's like, "No, I'm just staying right there." They're like, "Well, can you take us up there?" And she did.
Nice.
So ABC board busts up in our condo, our duplex, and they're like, "Hey, if you get us all the alcohol and you bring it here and you don't lie to us, no one's going to jail." We're like, "Okay, cool." We get it all
Deal.
separated. Like, these are the people that have been drinking. These are the people that haven't, on opposite sides of the room. They go through the people that said that they had been drinking. They're like, "Okay, yeah, you didn't lie. Yeah, you've been drinking." They get to the people that haven't. They're like, "Okay, yep, get the last person." He is wearing a sombrero that is from the wall. And they were like, "You are the drunkest of them all." And he goes, We all get detained. We're like, "Okay." So they're like, "Okay, you're all going to go to the police station." We're like, "Okay." Well, my boyfriend went to a different school, but he was at the condo, and there was a wreck that happened right in front of our condo. And the person opened the door, and a bong rolls out. So the cops below went running to that. So he just jumped off the balcony, left me to go with the police. I was like, this is over.
This is our last night
This
together.
is our last night. Well, fast forward, we get to the police station. I am like handcuffed to my friend. We didn't get arrested. Their parents just had to come pick us up. I mean, I was 17. And I mean, like, no charges, anything. They just put us in handcuffs, called our parents. Well, they said, "Do you want to call your parents or do you want us?" I was like, "Nope, they told me not to call them. I'm not calling them." Yep. Well, so the guy in front of me, the same guy with the sombrero, still friends with him to this day, by the way. He's a bar owner. Shocker. He doesn't have the sombrero on anymore. But he is sitting there and they're going down the list, like your name, your address, like all this. They're like, do you have any aliases? And he was like, what do you mean by that? They're like, like if someone saw you on the street, would they know you by this name? And he's like, oh yeah. He was like, they call me on the street Saliva Pole. What? Saliva Pole. So that is like written down on a record somewhere that this guy's name is Saliva Pole. That was his street name. So, yeah, my parents didn't let me go back down to spring break, but it was fun.
I would think if I'm the cops, I'd talk to the guy in the giant sombrero first, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm no detective whiz, but that's that's going to be the first guy who I'm going to get to crack.
Yeah. And, this is going to shock you guys too. I was not even drunk yet. We got into the condo. It's still daylight. I'm like talking to people out on the balcony and I am just walking towards it and bam, my face print stayed there for the 4 days we were there.
You pulled a
stayed
clack?
There the whole time. I did. I pulled a clack. I just whacked right into that sliding glass door. It's fantastic.
I think the most shocking thing of this story is that you weren't drunk.
She did say
I know. It was like literally the first 10 minutes we were there.
Oh, all right.
Well, speaking of sombreros, I told y'all before about when we went to Mexico for spring break when I was in law school.
No.
This is the greatest BSing job I will ever do, and that includes my entire legal career. So I go down there with like 20 people. We're in the airport getting ready to fly down, and somebody says something about a passport. And I was like, and this is why I've been described as a very dumb, smart person several times in my life. I was like, oh, we need passports to go to Mexico. So I'm like, well, screw it. I'm just getting on the plane and like, we'll see what happens. So we fly down there. This is all absolutely true. And this is before 9/11. This is a year before. We get off the plane. I immediately, they're checking for passports. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have one. So the federales like take me off like
Oh, no.
by myself. And I see like these 20 people I'm with. They're all just like looking like, oh no. Like, and they said they see me talking to these three guys. And I'm not even kidding. We had started drinking on the plane and then on the way over and before we even flew out. I don't remember what I said, but I talked my way into Mexico without a passport. And I will never, no matter what I do, like I'll never have a better argument than that the rest of my life.
And you don't even know what it was.
No, I think I was just like kind of making fun of myself, and they were like, "This guy's so dumb. We're just gonna let him in." So
He won't make it out alive anyway. So
and I almost didn't. Boy, it may have been better if I did not make it into Mexico. So good times, man.
Good stuff.
All right, so we haven't talked about our hoops teams very much. I think I felt like last year we kind of did check-ins throughout the season and haven't really done that this year. Y'all want to talk about where we are? Do we have a chance to go 4 for 4 in the tourney this year?
Awful convenient, Who's awful convenient.
No, last year's when I didn't want to talk about it.
Exactly. Now you do. Yeah, I think we do have a chance to go 4 for 4. I do. I was joking there, but
I think you're right. Utah State is trying to blow it, but I think they did too much early to be able to blow it. They lost by 27 to UNLV last night, so they're going to try to play their way out of it, but I think it's too late.
they'll get an at-large, right? Even if they don't win the tournament.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is no matter how bad they play the next couple games, they're still going to find their way in.
Yeah, y'all were ranked for a while, weren't you? Or like or close to being ranked at least.
Yeah, we were ranked. I mean, we're 24-6. I think our net rating is 27. Our Ken Palm, we were in the 20s. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll try to screw it up, but we won't. We won't be able to. We'll probably fall down like a 10 seed, and then get blown out in the first round. But there were guys on our boards last night asking for our coach to be fired. Keep in mind he's been there for 2 years and won 25 games both years.
And he'll probably be plucked by some high major team.
Like the idea that y'all would fire a coach is crazy.
2 days ago they were worried he was going to leave, and now they just want him fired. Right. So that's how things go.
Yeah, 2 years is the longest you've held on to somebody for a while, right? I mean,
well, Ryan Odom was there for 2 years.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, he stayed 2. That was quite a long tenure he had there.
Right.
Where's he now?
He's killing it, man.
He downgraded a little bit, but
so last year was a disaster. Tony Bennett kind of pulled a Bruce Pearl and, retired at the last second and to get his handpicked guy in there, and it did not work out well. And frankly, it worked out better for us that it played out that way, because I think if he had retired earlier, we may have given him a contract, like a longer contract. But yeah, Odom's killed it. We're 26-4, wrapped up second in the ACC. This is the biggest change. So we're averaging 81 points a game. Anyone want to guess how many points a game we averaged 6 years ago?
56.
57. That was a great guess.
I was going to say 54. So yeah,
57 points a game. Like during the Natty year, we were good on offense. We just didn't have a lot of possessions. But yeah, there were some lean years in there. So we got 2 Euro bigs. We have a 3-point shooter with alopecia. We have a little bit of everything. So
yeah, he does.
Yeah. Have you seen him
with a headband?
Yeah, Jakari White. He's got the Jakarmi out. He's got all these guys in the stands wearing the headbands with these Jakarmi shirts on. So yeah, man, we got dog walked by Duke, unfortunately, but that wasn't a big surprise. But other than that, we've been competitive in every game, and I think we'll probably end up like a 4, maybe a 3 seed, probably a 4. Maybe we'll have a different history and not choke in the first round or two like we have for years. But we'll see what happens.
I think I said this before. I think Odom is a top 5 to 7 coach in the country. I think he's as good as anybody. He's not recruiting's kind of his weak spot, but everything else, he is absolutely fantastic.
Our 1 through 9 guys are all new. So we have one guy stay who's our 10th man who gets maybe 5 minutes a game on the year. So he killed it this year. We have a 23-year-old, Euro freshman. So it's cheating a little bit. But,
It's okay.
But yeah, he assembled a great team and like we're fun to watch. Like I saw somebody take a pull-up 3 with like 25 seconds on the shot clock, and I almost had a heart attack. Like that dude would have sat for 5 games under Tony. Yeah, so it's fun stuff. So what about you guys?
It's baseball season. Who's?
No, guys, you started off so well though, Casey.
And I watched that North Carolina Clemson game the other night, and the better team lost the other night. Now North Carolina's without their star, but there was one egregious foul call. It wasn't that. It wasn't the refs at all. They just got hot at the right time. Clemson didn't. They're fun to watch. They're 21-8, I believe right now. Currently slotted to be an 8 seed in Joey brackets. But yeah, they'll do. Brad Brownell does Brad Brownell stuff. He, like there was one guy that came back from last year's team, and they lost. Zach Foster is his name. They lost him early to an ACL, and he was the guy. And now they're searching for scoring, but they're fun. They're fun. Hey, they play hard. That's all you can ask.
We could square off against each other in the first round. We're both going to be in that 7, 8, 9, 10 nice seed lines. So you never know.
You could see. Yeah, I see it. You're currently a 7 according to Joey brackets, playing in Tampa. So.
But Joey, though, are we going to trust? Are you talking about Lenardi?
Usually pretty decent. Joe Lenardi, right? He does the bracketology. Yeah,
he was ranked. I think I saw last year they ranked, all these guys against and women against what the field ended up looking like, and he was like rated 125th out of 150 or something like that. Yeah. So, y'all if you play each other, you have to make some content. We've got to. We'll try and monetize
it.
We'll do it.
So, Courtney, are you following Alabama basketball?
Yeah. Last Saturday, I watched almost the entire Tennessee game, and at the end, I was like, "Ugh, I just don't." I'm going home. It was at my friend's house. We did a crawfish boil, and I was like, "I'm going home." By the time I got home, turned on the TV and it was like Alabama won. And I was like, what? I was like, well, I'm glad I left. That probably won us the game because I'm superstitious. But then I did not enjoy last night against Georgia. We played at Georgia, played in Athens, and we lost. But we have Auburn on Saturday. And, I mean, I think they are the second team out right now.
Which is, aren't they like 15-13 or 15-14? Something like that.
I don't know what their record
They're
is.
16-14. They're 7-10 in conference, 11th place in the SEC.
Please blow their doors out. They don't belong anywhere near the tournament as an at-large.
No. So, I mean, if we play like we did against Georgia, it was awful.
Yeah, that kills me, though, that there's that actual conversation of Miami of Ohio, if they don't win their tournament, meaning they would have lost one game all year. There's that conversation of, well, do we put Auburn in over Miami of Ohio? Auburn, who's had 30 chances to prove themselves and they can't do it.
I don't remember the last time a team like that was being discussed for an at-large. Like we were a couple years ago and we shouldn't have made it. We were like 22-7 or something when we got boat raced by Colorado State in the first round. And like, it was an uproar when we made it as an at-large. How does 16-14 get you anywhere near the tournament? I don't get that at all.
Well, wait till they expand it. And you're talking about, well, should the 13th place team in the SEC get a bid? And the 12th place team out of the Big Ten? I mean, it's insane.
No way that they need to expand it. Like, this expanding is just getting too far. Like, everybody's getting a participation trophy. I hate it.
Well, I don't even like the first weekend, like the not even
playing
game. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid too because they do 11 seeds in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing is, and plus, like the fun part of the tournament is when you see a team like Miami play, like a blue blood or somebody in the early rounds of the tournament, like
they win.
Nobody wants to see 16-14 Auburn as like, what would they be, like a 10 seed or an 11? I mean, you can't see them. Yeah, you can't seed them. They're not going to be like a 14 seed. I mean, they're going
to. They need to take that ass on to the NIT.
Yeah, get them out of there. Not that I'm biased against Auburn at all, but
me either.
My childhood idol is an assistant coach at Auburn. I can't talk about them.
Who's that?
His name's Ira Bowman. He went to my high school. He's graduated with my brother. He's also the guy who took the fall for Bruce Pearl when he was in trouble at Tennessee. But that's why I like Bruce Pearl, is because he actually hired Ira back.
That sounds like he owed him one.
Yeah.
I think so.
People taking the fall for him a couple places. I know we've talked about that before. Wherever he was an assistant back in the 90s. I can't remember where he was, but yeah.
Oh, I got some Bruce Pearl content for you later in the show.
All right. I'll
just hang on to the Bruce Pearls.
This is speaking of Bruce Pearl. Did y'all see where it said something about the Department of War or whatever made up that is, that they were going to partner with Auburn on something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is like right up Bruce Pearl's alley.
Right.
He probably recruited them there.
I saw that. All right, well, we're going to keep it in the college basketball realm here. We're going to do a mailbag question this week. This week's question comes to us from someone I can't remember. I'm sure they're a big fan of the podcast. Yeah. A little housekeeping error here. Anyway, the question is, if you could pick any past college basketball game to attend in person, which game would you pick? Somebody want to go first? This is an easy one for me.
Yeah, I'll go first again. Right. I know I always go first, but I have two kind of. I think I would have loved to have been to that 2009 Big East tournament game between Syracuse and UConn that went 6 overtimes, almost 4 hours of basketball.
Was that Kemba Walker?
Yep, Kemba Walker and Jerry McNamara for Syracuse. It's just one of those games you'll remember forever.
Longer than your 3-inning baseball game today, Casey.
Almost. Thank God for the 15-run rule. One of those games that I remember exactly where I was. Just don't ask me because I don't remember at this moment. But I think I was in Tampa somewhere, probably drinking beers. But Syracuse had Jerry McNamara, like you said, Kemba Walker, and Syracuse never led in the game until the 6th overtime. It was just an unbelievable game. I grew up a Big East kid. My dad went to Seton Hall University. I went to Seton Hall Prep, no relation, kind of. I was programmed at a young age to hate Jim Boeheim and Georgetown coach John Thompson and St. John's coach Louis Carnesecca. So that leads me directly to my second game, which is the 1989 national championship game between Seton Hall and Michigan. And Ramil Robinson ruined my 12-year-old life that day. Glenn Rice, you remember Glenn Rice? He was on that Michigan team too, and that was well before the Fab Five. And Seton Hall had Andrew Gaze, who was basically Larry Bird light. He was a 35-year-old from Australia on that team. He just shot threes.
Terry DeHare? Didn't have Terry DeHare?
Terry DeHare, absolutely. Even though it ruined my fragile formative years, I would have loved to have been there. Those are my two.
So Casey, you know why I remember that 89 Michigan team? Because we made a surprise run to the Elite Eight that year. Played Michigan, and they beat us by, I want to say, 40, maybe. So I think we knocked off the number one seed. I think Oklahoma with like Mookie Blaylock. Can't remember who else is on that team, but we knocked them off, and then absolutely just got embarrassed on national television by Glenn Rice.
You were running through the tournament, and so it wasn't even like little old Seton Hall. It was like they'd have no shot. But John Morton, Andrew Gaze, Ramon Ramos, Darrell Walker, Gerald Green, Franz Volsey, who also went to my high school. Yeah, it was fun.
80s Big East was some of the most fun basketball ever. With Massimino and Carnesecca.
That 30 for 30 is the best.
Yeah, man, that was good times back then. That one year.
And I've never been to the Big East tournament.
Oh, is that right?
I don't. That makes no sense in my life. That's the one thing that makes no sense.
Yeah, it was fun stuff.
I lived right down the street. But anyway, sorry. Who's next?
Mine is 1990. I'm going to go the Michigan team of 1990 that also had Ramil Robinson, but they lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament as a 3 seed in the highest scoring NCAA tournament game of all time. Do you know who they lost to?
Oh, it had to be. Was that Bo Kimball?
Yeah, it was
Loyola Marymount.
Loyola Marymount. That game was 149 to 115.
Oh my God.
And that game was I think it was just a few weeks after Hank Gathers had passed. So there was all this emotion around the team. But I've maybe talked about this on the show before. If you've never watched those old Loyola Marymount teams, I mean, they were getting shots off within seconds of crossing half court. They were pressing the entire game. They were just baiting the other team into shooting early shots. And they would sub. They played 10 guys, pretty much even minutes the whole way, and they would just press and score. I mean, to watch that game in person would be fantastic because it was just running up and down the floor for 40 straight minutes and 149 points in a regulation game. The other team scored 100.
Yeah, it's like a 48-minute NBA game, right?
Yeah.
There was no shot clock.
No.
Remember that, too. There was no shot clock at this time.
Was that Paul Westhead? Was that who coached?
Yeah, it was Paul Westhead. Yeah. They had a kid named Jeff.
Steve Fisher was Michigan.
Yeah, Jeff Fryer scored 41 points. I think Bo Kimball had high 30s that game. Wild. Those teams were fun to watch. And then just the whole instance with Hank Gathers passing that season just made the game all that more fun to watch. Fun.
Was that the game when he shot the left-handed free throw?
I don't know if that was that game or the game before. Or if he did that, he may have done it every game, his first free throw. I don't remember. I think they eventually lost to North Carolina that year. I'm not sure, but I think they lost to maybe North Carolina the following round. But yeah.
We're going old school.
How about this, MBG? Bo Kimball averaged 35.3 points a game.
Well, how many minutes a game did he average, too?
I don't have that.
I'll bet it was sub 30. I mean, given the way that they subbed, I could be wrong. but that would be my guess. So, I mean, just consider.
No, I remember. It was like a hockey. It was almost like hockey. They
did
had
it
5 in, 5 out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm looking at their stats. It's unbelievable how many guys they had average so many points. They had, 20. Hank Gathers averaged 29 when he was alive. Jeff Fryer averaged 22 at 0.7.
When he was alive.
Is that bad?
Thank you for clarifying.
What was it after he was dead?
He didn't score much after he was dead. Allegedly. I don't have it in front of me.
He was much better when he was alive. He scored fell off a lot after that.
Yeah.
A lot of DNPs after that.
It's weird. Coaches.
Sorry.
So bad. Rest in peace.
Yeah. I mean, it's there's enough time where we can laugh about a joke about it, right? It's like 36 years.
So.
Yeah. 37 years. Oh, sorry about that. Courtney, you want to go next or you want me to?
It doesn't matter. I can go. So I think I'm going to go with 2022 Bama, North Carolina. And that was the Phil Knight Invitational. They were number 1. I think we were like 16, 18, something like that. And it was 4 overtimes.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the first time in history that a ranked team, number 1 ranked team, played in 4 overtimes. But the craziest thing to me when I was kind of looking is that was 4 years ago, right? And the person that made the winning shot, the layup, was Charles Bediako.
Oh, wow. There you go.
So I was like, well, that just went full circle.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's crazy to think about. Like, he was playing this season and he was a full grown ass adult in 2022.
I thought you'd at least pull out a Wimp Sanderson game or an Antonio McDyess or one of those. My favorite Alabama game, did you guys remember there was a game, I think they had Colin Sexton, and everybody fouled out and they only had 4 dudes left? You remember that? They played like the last – it seems like they played like 6-7 minutes in a close game.
I was going to say 8 minutes.
With only 4 guys, and Colin Sexton was still scoring points.
Yeah. Well,
he was good.
The only reason I picked that one, I mean, it would be the 4 overtimes to score or whatever, but because it had the Bediako piece in it. So I was like,
that's awesome. Good. Well, this is the easiest call ever for me. You would think I'd go with something old school, but I have to go with the 2019 Elite Eight game between UVA and Purdue. I did not. I'm so used to UVA choking in big games. I did not go to the game, watched it here. I just assume everyone remembers it because I do so well. But that was a game when Carson Edwards just went absolutely ballistic. He had 42 points, 10 threes. The game was back and forth the whole time. I'd kind of forgotten about this until I looked up some stuff about the game. Kyle Guy rolled his ankle in the first half, and he had been terrible all through the tournament. Hurt his ankle in the first half. He scored 19 in the second half. We were up 1 with a minute left, and Edwards threw up a 3, and I'm like, this one's a brick, finally. He banks it in from like 30 feet away. And then, obviously the play at the end that I have watched literally hundreds of times where, Ty Jerome makes a free throw, misses the second one, the ball gets tipped out, and we score to tie it up. I said this on Twitter this week. I've seen that play literally hundreds of times, and I'm still surprised every time that we score on it, like even now knowing what's going to happen. And I've said this on the podcast before, too. It's the first time my kids were 9 that I dropped an F-bomb in front of them, but it wasn't an angry one. It was when Diakite scored to tie it up. I just screamed, holy f*** at the top of my lungs. And both my kids just froze. Like, neither one of them moved. And I was like,
they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, like, I'm not mad. That was a happy, holy I know I'm biased, but that was one of the best tourney games I've ever seen. And to actually win a game like that finally was that was pretty fun.
It was a great game. It was on my list.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed I didn't go to that. I also missed the Auburn Final Four game, but I did make it for the championship game, so that was good enough. All right, so that brings us to our next segment, Genius of the Week. As always, each of us is going to nominate a player, coach, team, conference, someone who did something particularly dumb in the last week. We'll put it to a Twitter vote and see who wins. For our last vote, Casey, you're rolling, man. Casey's nominee, Mick Cronin, won in a landslide with 68% of the vote, followed by my nominee, Tony Clark, with 28%. Courtney's nominee, Keon Keeley, finished in third with 4% of the vote. And I just want to pause here. I don't mean to bring math into it, but MBG, I don't know if you know what 68 plus 28 plus 4 equals by any chance.
68, 28. That's 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means
that's 100.
Exactly
so guess what?
Just a little. I had a little less than 1.
Yeah, for only the second time in Genius of the Week voting, someone got 0% of the vote. So Theodore Anderson, I guess was.
You guys know that I'm not voting for myself now.
Well, it got rounded down, obviously, but yeah, good stuff, man. All right, so now Casey's in the lead with 3 wins, followed by Courtney with 2. I've got 1. MBG with 0, so we're like a perfect little run here. So Casey, you're rolling, man. You want to kick it off this week?
Rolling. Sure. This week, McDonald's has a new burger, the Big Arch. Have you guys heard about this burger?
Yes.
2 quarter-pound burgers, 3 slices of cheese, crispy onions, and a new tangy sauce. Doesn't sound so bad if you're a fan of McDonald's. They're calling it a premium burger, available for a limited time only. Well, McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczynski, sorry if I'm pronouncing that name, Chris, did a little promotional video talking about the ingredients and how good the sandwich is. And then he took a bite. But the bite was heartily mocked on Instagram because of how small it was. And his reaction was like he had just had the best steak in the world, which led people on Instagram to quip, Kempczynski has the aura that screams kale salad. He also called the burger product and not food, which led to another comment, that's a nice looking product. I'll take 2 units, please. And finally, someone wrote, it scares me when you call my food product. So for faking the fact that he actually likes the food from which his company is presenting to the world, McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczynski is my Genius of the Week. I also want to add, did you see the Burger King CEO, the Wendy's CEO, the A&W CEO? And there was another one that I saw before the show. I couldn't figure out what company it was.
Taco Bell.
Are all doing these promotional videos as well, taking huge bites of their product food in obvious mocking of the McDonald's CEO. It's hilarious.
Love that.
Did you see the Arby's post that went viral by any chance?
Yes, I sure did.
I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it, and you can get the bleep button out, Casey. So this is because I mean, I can't. You know, I'm not capable of seeing this and not reading it during the podcast.
Correct.
So this is from Twitter user Dipwheeler, who said, "Arby's CEO gonna the flaps off a roast beef sandwich next."
It had to be said. It had to be said.
I got 5 million impressions. So. I'm sorry, MBG.
Sorry.
I can't pass up something that good. All right, Courtney, who do you have?
Okay, I'm going to keep mine kind of short. I know we took last week off, but I'm not going to let it go. My Genius of the Week is Canada, and I don't just mean the
freaking Canada.
The men or women's hockey teams. I just mean the whole ass country. Like we kind of knew Canadians were bitches, but we didn't know they were like the biggest bunch of bitches.
We did.
So instead of giving you like the 47 reasons why Canadians suck, I'm just going to read a few of my favorite tweets from this past week. Canadian Twitter could not handle rivalry week in college football. I never thought this would happen, but I've never seen a college football fan base go through a struggle session as bad as the one spreading across Canada. Yikes. That was from our buddy 3-Year Letterman. Mm-hmm. This is one of my new favorite accounts on Twitter. If you guys aren't following this person, it's called Out of Ken, Ken Troll. Fantastic. It says, Canadians are out here giving big War Eagle anyway vibes. And here's another one from him. Canadian hockey Twitter ran into the behemoth that is college football Twitter, and it's been exactly the massacre you would expect. So, for being exactly what we thought you were, just a big old gaggle of bitches, Canada is my genius of the week.
They tried to fight it too, but like once college football Twitter got involved, it really was not pretty at all.
It was a massacre.
It really was. Like,
oh man. And then the whole tweet about the Canada being poorer than Alabama, and then everybody just destroyed Canada. It was fantastic.
Those hosers didn't stand a chance.
One person on that tweet, about Canada and Alabama, one person said is like, I hope something about their maple trees and poisoning them, like people from Alabama poisoning their maple trees.
Oh yeah, about Updike or whatever. I saw that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I will say 3-Year Letterman from the Olympics through this week has been on a generational run.
Yeah, it's been good.
I mean, he's angered several countries.
Countries.
Yeah.
Not just people, countries.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Spain is his latest victim.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
Rightfully so.
Right. All right, MVG, you got to get on the board, man. You and I are bringing up the
I know
last and next to last year.
I should. Hey,
weird.
You guys ever been in handcuffs?
In what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't even say it.
And in a custodial situation, a custodial arrest. Let's put it that way.
Yes, again.
Yeah.
MBG After Dark.
You get a lot of you have your hands behind your back or in front? Casey?
They were in back.
Yeah. How was the range of motion back there when you had them?
Not good, MBG. Not good at all.
Well,
no.
Yeah, that must just be you, because my genius of the week, she had a very nice range of motion while she was in handcuffs. So this says in a release, Sheriff Wayne Ivey said that a woman identified as Diamond Osborne had been arrested after throwing a cinder block through the back of a window of someone's vehicle. And if you look up the article, there's a picture of looks like a Honda Accord with a cinder block right through the back window. It says, now, while her reasoning for doing this is still a mystery, it did earn her a courtesy ride to Ivey's Iron Bar Lodge, where she got to meet some of our incredible staff who assisted in booking her reservation, he wrote. But while Osborne was being booked, she told corrections staff that she actually had a bag of cocaine hidden in her, quote, jail purse, the sheriff added. Diamond admitted that even though she was handcuffed behind her back while being transported, she was able to maneuver her hands enough to eat some additional cocaine that she had concealed inside her pants.
This one, girl.
According to Ivy, it was revealed that Osborne had around 6 grams of cocaine in her, quote, personal place. As a result, Osborne now faces charges of criminal mischief, introduction of a controlled substance into a detention facility, possession of a controlled substance, and tampering with evidence. So Diamond Osborne, for having her hands handcuffed behind her back, somehow reaching into her, what did he call it? Her jail purse, and eating cocaine in the back of a patrol car is my genius of the week. I'm just trying to figure out how she was able to manage getting the cocaine out and then eating it.
Well, I mean, you gotta think, a girl named Diamond, she probably has room to spare.
Well,
look her up.
It was hard to pull out.
To be fair, it's Diamond DYMOND.
That's even better. Sure. Perfect.
That's even
Shouldn't
more.
even have to change her name for the poll.
Right.
Yeah.
She can use her real name. Wow. So I have an addictive personality, but the one thing I never did was cocaine, and probably because I would have liked it. But is eating it do the same thing as? I don't know.
I think it'll do something. I mean, just
because it's in your system.
I've heard of anybody that's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm just eating some cocaine tonight."
Do you want to join me? I'm sprinkling it on my Dominoes.
Just pulled some cocaine out of my jail purse to eat.
I don't want this to be like the fried beaver back in the day, but is jail purse what I think it is?
You said that as soon as I took a sip of water, and I almost lost my computer.
Well, you don't want to confuse it with the prison wallet, because I think that's the man equivalent of the jail purse. But,
Got you.
We have fewer hiding places.
They're neighbors, though.
They are neighbors. Right across the street from each other, as a matter of fact.
Right across the street from each other.
All right, well, mine sucks. I was on the struggle bus this week, and I had nothing good, especially it's similar to MBG's, but not nearly as good. So my genius of the week is former NFL draft first-round draft pick Robert Nkemdiche. I believe he played at Ole Miss before he was drafted by the Cardinals. I'm going to read you. This is from TMZ Sports. It said, according to a police report obtained by TMZ Sports, the former Arizona Cardinals defensive tackle was exiting at a Kroger in Georgia last week when an officer conducting a business area check says they observed the 31-year-old with, quote, square and rectangular shapes inside his sweatpants. So just there's your visual image. The officer said they then called for backup as Nkemdiche walked to a gas station. According to the report, the cop then made contact with the 6'3", 300-pound Nkemdiche and immediately placed him in double-locked handcuffs. The officer stated that Nkemdiche no longer had items in his pants, but frozen grocery items, including candy bars and almond milk, were found after a search of the Kroger and gas station parking lots. Police returned to Kroger to ask if the items were stolen. The cop said a rep for the store did not want to press charges over the goods, but did want him to be criminally trespassed. Unfortunately, Nkemdiche had warrants outstanding, was taken to jail, and booked. As for this, and this is a quote from the article, as for the stuff Nkemdiche allegedly stole from the store, the report says it was perishable and had to be thrown out. So, making $13 million during his NFL career and then getting caught jacking a carton of almond milk from Kroger, Robert Nkemdiche is my genius of the week.
I actually was considering that, but I couldn't figure out how to say his name. So I'm glad you could figure it out.
I might be saying it wrong, but I
no, that's correct.
It is? Okay.
He actually is a former Clemson commit that flipped to Ole Miss, and with his transgressions off the field, I'm glad he was.
Isn't that the dude who jumped off a 4th floor balcony trying to get away from the cops? Is that the same guy?
Probably. Yeah, that sounds.
I think he was at a party or something that was getting busted, so he just jumped off the 4th floor, which...
It sounds fun.
Yeah, I might be exaggerating. It may have been 2nd floor, because 4th floor sounds like he'd be dead, but I think that was that dude.
It certainly was, from the hotel window in Atlanta.
There you go. All right, before we move on to our next segment, I want to give a quick shout out to Coach Letterman for sponsoring the MBG podcast. You can find his truth bombs on Twitter at 3Year Letterman and his life-changing books, Not Some Random Clown and Determined Look, on Amazon. Also, we're doing a cross-promotion with the Sickos Committee podcast again this week. They had a new episode drop yesterday titled Mystery Temporary Tattoos, which featured classic Sickos content, including proposed college football rule changes, Gunnar Rivers commits to NC State, Rick Majerus' towel, and much more. There's some crossover content, right? Love the Sickos, so check them out. believe we had a long segment that included a discussion about Rick Majerus' towel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think we've done a few Rick Majerus segments, yeah.
He's heavenly.
All right, MVG, what do you have this week?
Well, I got a lot of basketball stuff, so wake up, everybody. So my first one is from Texags, and this game, so Texas A&M beat Kentucky, was it last night? But the night before that, or not the night before, the game before that, they had lost to Texas at home, which I'm guessing didn't go over well. And I think they've actually struggled a bit at home, Texas A&M. They play in Reed Arena. And so there was this poster by Levi Ma that said, "Abandon Reed. It's a strategy. I don't want us to not support our team, but rather give them what they need. I'm sure the crowds are a minuscule part of the pressure they apply on their own. I don't want to go into the details, but it might be good for them to think that no one believes in them. We don't work that way, so I'm sure Kentucky game will be another huge pressure-packed atmosphere like Florida today. Maybe it will be different." So my man wanted the fans to just stay home so they didn't put too much pressure on the home squad there, which I didn't look at what the crowd was like against Kentucky because they did beat Kentucky at home after this. So, I mean, maybe. I don't know if a lot of them stayed home, but if they did, it worked. You guys ever thought of that strategy?
South Carolina's currently doing it, and it's not working for them.
Wait, which part? Not going to the games?
Yeah, no one's showing up to baseball or basketball, but they're still losing. It's weird.
I like this guy's theory. It's kind of like raising kids, right? The best thing you can do is make them think that you don't believe in them. That always makes these things turn out better, right? We don't believe in you. That'll help.
Wasn't it like 2 weeks ago that they were sending gifts to Maryland for old Buzz Williams?
Taking Buzz, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they got Bucky McMillan now, and there's a lot of pressure on him, so trying to take some of it off.
They're in a little bit of a free fall. I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah. I feel like A&M fans are even more fickle than some other fan bases.
Yeah, a little bit.
They seem not to handle the emotional ups and downs that well sometimes.
It's definitely magnified at football.
We'll talk about this in some of the other posts, but especially in basketball, like it kills me. Like you're going to lose, I don't know, especially if you're in the SEC, you're going to lose between 8 and 12 games in a good year, right? You're still going to lose 8 to 12 games at some point. So, but they still, it's such a catastrophe when they drop one. It's funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, speaking about the SEC, and I told you that I had a Bruce Pearl post. I don't really know what's going on at Auburn. That whole thing.
Nobody does.
That whole thing is weird to me. That Bruce just resigns and then all of a sudden, turns it over to his son Stephen, who I don't think has had really any major head coaching experience. And so he turned the keys over to his son. It hasn't gone well. I think we mentioned it earlier. They were 16-14 overall, 7-10 in the SEC. They've lost 7 of their last 9 games. Auburn fans obviously are taking it well. This fella, Glory Days 2012, said, "If you have a son who is a dirtbag that you don't see succeeding outside the, quote, family business, why not set him up for one of those sweet, sweet Auburn buyouts? It's actually a perfect plan when you look at it fiscally and not from a legacy affirming standpoint," which is exactly what Bruce did.
Did y'all see today where there was an On3 post and as a quote from Bruce Pearl, and he said, "Am I rooting for my son to make the NCAA tournament? Of course I am. Did I help my son get the Auburn job? Nepotism? Of course I did."
Not even pretending.
No.
Well, if you have a son who is a dirtbag that you don't see succeeding outside the, quote, family business, why not set him up for a sweet, sweet Auburn buyout?
Hell yeah. Did you see all his tweets that came to light when he got the Auburn job? Everybody sharing all those tweets and he had to go and delete them all?
No, I didn't. I missed that somehow.
Yeah,
they were fantastic.
Really?
If I can find some of them, I will share with you.
Should we just start calling Auburn buy out you? Because don't they still owe Hugh? They owe the guy before that.
Harsin. Mm-hmm.
Harsin, thank you.
The guy that stole the Escalade.
Don't ask me his names, MBT.
What?
But I'm going to call my dad after this show and yell at him for not setting me up with a family business.
Are you a dirtbag?
Yeah, 100%.
What would the family business be? I don't know that we would have a family business. I had an uncle who sold drugs. I don't know if that counts.
Hey.
My dad taught for 48 years, so
yeah, it's hard to put nepotism in teaching, right? That's not not that much fun.
You don't want to set you for those sweet fourth grade teaching gigs.
Well, the problem with this theory, of course, is, I mean, if he wanted to save his legacy and have his son make money, as he could have just, kept on coaching and just given the money to his son. But yeah, I like the mind games that Auburn fans are playing with themselves right now, because they're going through it. I mean, they've been calling themselves a blue blood for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
so.
It's dumb as they are not.
Hate it for him.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
All right, more SEC basketball. Casey, you already mentioned South Carolina. Oh man, things are going so bad for South Carolina. They are 12-18, 3-14 in the SEC, tied for last place with LSU. And if you look at the teams they've beaten this year, it's a tough list. They look like they're all quad 4 games. Bad. So I don't know what Lamont Paris' situation is, but obviously he's probably on the hot seat. So they're looking at potential coaching replacements. And this fella, 86 Cocky, said, Jon Scheyer, $10 million salary plus $4 million in NIL should just about do it. Jon Scheyer, who coaches the number 1 ranked Duke Blue Devils, I think he's last time I checked, he was 114-24 was his coaching all-time record. He's going to hang it up at Duke and head down to Columbia.
Why wouldn't you?
Do you even get one boozer for $4 million?
That's the best part of the whole post is, $4 million. Utah State spends $4 million in NIL.
Yeah, our basketball team was $8 to $10 million. So that is just hilarious that first of all, that the $10 million is going to get him to go to South Carolina. But then as the kicker, the sweetener, we're going to hook him up with $4 million in NIL.
What's he making at Duke?
I have no idea. I just know there are those articles earlier this year about all these incredibly rich, this network of rich Duke alums who contribute to the basketball program. And I'm guessing their NIL is higher than anyone, right? I mean, I don't know that there's
it
another.
Can be. It certainly can be.
Can you imagine the kind of money that the Duke alums probably have? I mean,
because they're not putting it in football either. I mean, that's the thing. It's going into basketball. So, yeah, I don't think the $4 million is the sweetener that's gonna get Scheyer to go down to Columbia.
Oh, who says no? Who says no to that?
Listen, I'd be happy if Scheyer went anywhere, because the dirty secret is Duke is so much better coached right now than they were the last 5 years under Coach K. They were terrible on defense for the last few years. You just depending on just having athletes and being able to out-athlete people. They are so good on defense now. That
once he went to that one and done everybody else, even though he said he didn't want to do it.
Yep. I loved playing Duke. Coach K's last 5 years. I thought it was fun. Now they're a machine again. So yeah, South Carolina, maybe get that NIL up to 6 to 8 million, just to give you a realistic shot.
Bring your 12th and 13th man off the Duke bench. Come on down.
I was at one of their wins this year too, which not good.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're teams they beat are like South Carolina State or UC Upstate. I mean, just real low level.
They beat Oklahoma this day. The game I went to, they beat Oklahoma. Yeah.
there was a post about their football, their record in football, baseball.
I was trying to find it.
I think the record was 15-78, if I remember, in those three men's sports combined. Because I remember thinking, it's like, okay, if let's just say, I'm just going to use Utah State, obviously, because that's where I went. If Utah State played 1 year in the SEC in football, men's basketball, and baseball, could they scrap together 15 wins? And I think they could.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
That's how bad 15 wins is. That's rough.
They hire legendary coaches and well past their prime. The baseball coach is past his prime, LSU guy. They had Lou Holtz, rest in peace. They had, I don't know what they do. The only good hire they made is Dawn Staley, and she's fantastic.
I mean, I do kind of love that she's carrying their athletic department because are they good in anything else? Like, I don't think they are.
Their men's soccer team, which plays in Conference USA because there is no SEC soccer, is decent.
Oh, okay.
Well, there you go.
Women's soccer, women's softball is pretty good. They're women's sports: women's softball, women's soccer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, the money makers,
right.
For any athletic department.
All right, one more SEC basketball post. This one comes from Kentucky. I don't know if you guys have been following closely, Kentucky fans, but this has been a roller coaster season of epic proportions for them with Mark Pope, because they'll lose some games and they'll be all over Mark Pope, wanting him fired, and they'll put a few together and they think Mark Pope is the answer, and then they'll lose one and they're right back to wanting him fired. So there was a post that came, I think this post may have came, since we didn't do a show last week, I hung on to it. I think it may have came after they lost to Auburn. Which is sad. But talking about Mark Pope, I thought this post was funny. It says, Kentucky has become like cheap Popepourri, where the stench never goes away. Just like someone who uses cheap potpourri in a bathroom after taking a horrific dump that's clogged the pipes. I am comparing Pope's defenders to cheap Popepourri after every game when Pope and Mitch take a combined dump on the fan base and this program. They try to make everything smell good, but they keep using the cheap stuff. No matter how many artificially flowery fragrances they put on this abomination, it's clear someone just took a huge dump right before Big Blue Nation walks into the door. Only way to deal with the problem is to fix the pipes, and that means flushing Pope and Mitch down the drain as well. Got to get to the root cause of the stench, and fast, before it takes over the whole house.
He speaks as someone that uses poopery for sure.
Yeah. If you use the word take a dump in a post, I will probably I don't know what it is about those words, take a dump. But
not just a dump, a horrific dump.
Yeah. This guy was so proud of himself for the Popepourri. You know what? He thought of that and he's like, I am going right to the board right now.
There's no doubt about that.
He definitely texted his group chat about it.
They're a 6 seed currently, according to the bracketmatrix.com, because you guys shamed me into not looking at Joe Lunardi anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
at 19-11, it's not a bad season.
Yeah, he'll have him in the tournament. I mean, it's not like Cal was winning tournament games the last 4 or 5 years he was there. So, I mean, it's more the norm for Kentucky. They're hanging on to what it seems like what they were doing back in, the Pitino days, maybe, what was that, in the 90s?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
Kentucky, really, when was the last time Kentucky was really relevant in terms of being a national title contender?
Was that 1 year they went undefeated to the championship game? What year was that? Like 20...
Yeah.
13, 2012, something like that? Or am I making that up?
It's probably right about then, but it's been a decade, right?
It's been a while. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they always have loaded classes, but they have to cover up the stench of how they played, I guess, somehow. They just didn't have a cute play on words for when their prior coaches were there.
Yeah, there was a post today where
Tubby Smith. They could have.
Oh yeah, it was Tubby was probably the last one because then they hired Billy Gillespie, right? Wasn't Gillespie right after Tubby?
Yeah.
It was an absolute disaster, right? And then was it Cal after that, or was there someone between Cal and Gillespie?
There was not.
Yeah,
it was not. It was Gillespie, Cal, and then Pope.
Yeah, so you're getting good at the real-time fact checking, by the way.
Hey, if I don't do the research before the show, I might as well do it during.
But you do it so well that it sounds like you know the stuff right off the top of your head, right?
Oh no, I know nothing.
Nope. Nobody between them.
Well, Tubby Smith would have a nice name if they were, I'm sure has they could play on that all day long, couldn't they? Tubby.
Oh, I'm sure.
Poopy. I don't know.
Poopy. Yeah, I mean, sure, Casey.
Just like this guy spent 5 paragraphs like spelling out the analogy for us. Like, I just want to make sure everyone understands this play on words that I'm throwing out here.
Yeah. All right. Last post, not an SEC post, not a basketball post. This comes from a West Virginia board. I guess I didn't really appreciate the rivalry that exists between West Virginia and Pitt. I didn't realize that there was such hatred between West Virginia and Pitt. You guys know about that?
Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's pretty rough.
I'm a fringe. I know they light couches on fire, right? Is that West Virginia?
That's what I've heard.
Maryland?
Oh. So this West Virginia fan, apparently he's got a son who is being recruited by rival Pitt. And his post says, "What would you do if your son was being recruited by Pitt? I am living my nightmare as a lifelong Mountaineer fan. Currently, Pitt has offered my son, and they are in constant contact with him about official visits and the whole nine. I live in Virginia Beach and have done everything in my power to get my son to West Virginia. I played for Rich at Glenville, and Chris even did an article a while back on my son at West Virginia's camp. I told my son that if he goes there, I will not root for the team, just him, and I will never wear any of their gear. I genuinely just want to know what y'all would do if you were in my position. I feel like I'm being punished, but I'm not giving up on the Mountaineers." I kind of feel for this dude. That seems like quite a dilemma. Like, Courtney, if your daughter said, "Hey, I'm going to go wrestle for Auburn."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would probably do what my dad told me. He was like, I mean, if you want to go to Auburn, you can. I don't know how you're going to pay for it, but you can certainly go. So.
Well, she'll be on scholarship.
Yeah.
All you have to do is show up. All you have to do is show up to the meet in an Auburn T-shirt,
and you get a medal, right, Court?
Yeah. Don't even have to win.
Everybody gets a medal.
War Eagle anyway.
Like, would you show up to Duke in a Duke shirt, cheering on your son?
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that, but I would have a really hard. That sounded meaner than I meant it to.
Okay, a Virginia Tech. What about a Virginia Tech game?
So, believe it or not, I would not wear a Virginia Tech shirt, but my buddy Vanilla Thunder, he married a Virginia Tech woman who I'm one of my dear friends. Their kids one went to Virginia, one went to Virginia Tech, and they were able to navigate it, but he's not wearing their gear. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Yeah, I think I could navigate that. I would have a harder time. Like, Virginia Tech's a rival, but like I'm friends with some Virginia Tech people. I think I'd have a harder time with Duke, at least during basketball season. I just really hate Duke. So that would be,
if your kid plays for them, I feel like you have to wear the gear.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah.
No?
Like, if your kid's the starting point guard for Duke, you're just going to show up in not Duke gear?
Yeah, that's tough, man. I guess I would have to. Because otherwise you're just right?
Right?
No, I would totally cheer my kid on. Hell yeah. I'd be their biggest fan and not Duke gear.
Even when she's wrestling against Alabama?
Yeah.
Silence speaks everything.
Yeah.
There were definitely some people who disagree with us. Like this one dude said, I would do the exact same if I was also a parent. I would simply disown my child if they ever thought, and this is my favorite part because I don't even know what this means. If they ever thought about attending Cadaver University. I don't even know what that means, but
I don't even know what that
I'm
means
assuming
either.
there's a story
Sounds
there.
bad.
And then he ends it with great parenting! Exclamation point.
That's why, like, from an early age, you have to start them out really young. Ainsley was about 3, and her dad took her to Walmart, and in front of them was a man, and he had on an Auburn shirt, and he's just holding Ainsley. They're in line to check out, and she just looked him dead in the face and said, "You smell like baby diapers." And her dad was mortified. He was like, "Why would she say that? Why did you say that? That's not nice." And she was like, "He's wearing an Auburn shirt." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, she's good."
Yeah, you can't say that.
And he's like,
girl.
"Yeah." And he was like, "What have you taught our daughter?" I was like, "I didn't even teach her that. Okay. I did not. I told her the LSU fans smell like corn dogs." And she said, what do Auburn fans smell like? And I said, "I don't know. What do they smell like?" And she said, "Baby diapers." And I said, "Okay."
Correct her.
Yeah. She made that up. She just came to that conclusion on her own. So that's at that point where I was like, I've got to put her in like gifted classes because she's so smart.
Well, it's tough, right? Because it can go either way. Because my kids look at pictures of them when they were growing up, and even my daughter, who likes UVA and will probably apply there, is like, "You dressed us in orange and blue stuff the whole time we were kids." I'm like, "Yeah, I got to control like what you were wearing back then." But like, I know when I was growing up, my dad was a huge Redskins fan, and I don't know why, but I became a Cowboys fan when I was a kid, just so I could torment him when we would watch the game. So I think it's tough, man. It can go either direction.
I hope Emily doesn't listen to this.
I reformed after that.
I told my kid he can go anywhere in this country. I will pay for him to go to any school in this country except South Carolina.
See, it's real. And my kid, she's wearing she came out, she got out of the shower, and she's wearing an Alabama shirt right now. So
yeah, I can't get him to wear Virginia stuff. Oh, that's not true.
That's good parenting.
I did get my daughter to start wearing a Virginia shirt last week. I forgot about that. My son refuses, so I guess he's not going to college.
He needs a beat.
What team does he like?
So he hasn't decided, but they have to have a good football team. So he tried to be a Maryland fan since they're local. That did not go very well. He enjoyed us having a good year last year, but he said he thinks we're a one-year deal. So he's holding tryout. He just got into college football this year. He did watch a couple Oregon games. I did tell Emily that he likes the uniforms and he enjoyed watching them. So he's still TBD.
I see an Indiana fan in the making.
That's right. So we're going to have us a bandwagon.
It could be because he became a big Ravens fan in 2019 when they went 15-2 or whatever. So yeah, he's not afraid to jump on a bandwagon.
So he has to pick a team and he has to ride with them in the highs and the lows.
Yeah, be just as miserable as the rest.
That's right.
Or just be a bandwagon and be happy all the time. Right? One or the other.
It might be the way to go. Well, that's all I brought, kids.
All right, that'll do it for this week's episode, the MBG podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review. You can check out more content at messageboardgeniuses.com. And we'll see you next time, losers.